Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got our first Super Bowler smash for the February season, and I just decided to delay it a little bit because the bases on the first few days are not really the best. So yeah, I think we're into the third or fourth day of the Feb season, and yeah, I've got some good bases for you guys. So I went almost perfect. It was like one time fail yesterday, and yeah, that's about it. Everything is about the same. The army link will be in the description for you guys. Here's my equipment and my pets that you can have a look at. So yeah, let's just get into some attacks where I explain my thought process and how you can exploit certain weaknesses on bases that you find in early Legends League, so you can start climbing up really quickly. Yeah, let's get into the attacks. Alright, so in early Legends, you'll find yourself running into a lot of bases that are like Town Hall 15 layouts, but they are kind of modified to just fit to become a Town Hall 16 layout somehow or the other. And you can see that right over here. This was a Town Hall 15 layout, except they have modified it to somehow have the merge defenses just somehow fit on this base over here. So again, we'll just go through it by trying to understand the weaknesses on the base, so that you can understand where you need to focus your bowlers on and which siege to use and what to do with your heroes, for example. So over here we can see that this area over here is obviously the main problem on this base. It has a lot of heavy damage. It has the poison towers, it has all four of the enemy heroes, the monolith and the enemy clan castle. So that is definitely the most troublesome area on this base, I would say. But we also need to consider that they have well protected flanks over here, and of course we have this eagle that is completely isolated over here. So what can you do on this base? If you guys have watched my previous bowlers related videos, you will know that I try to tell you guys, try to focus your bowlers into the most troublesome area of the base where the damage is the highest, and if you can get a clean path through that area, such that you also have a way to deal with the town hall eventually, then you should definitely go for it. And luckily for us this time, you can see the town hall is a part of the most troublesome area, so it's actually very easy. We just need to get our bowlers into this compartment one way or the other, but prefer doing it such that you have enough spell support to get through the entire area. So what can we do over here? We can either approach from the side over here, or we can try to make some approach from behind the town hall. Now I will say that instead of approaching somehow from behind the town hall, it is preferable if you approach from one of the sides. And I'm saying that because if you approach from over here, you will need to create a funnel one way or the other, which will take a lot of time and a lot of resources, because look at these corners. They are very heavy in terms of damage. Plus you'll have to probably even deal with the enemy warden or something. It's just too much of time, too much of spell investment. And honestly, even then, after you start pushing in, it's just such a broad entry point. Suppose you funnel this out, it's just such a broad entry, you can see over here. So I would say that you should go for the sidewise entry over here, and in order to do that, all you need to do is kind of help funnel this area out. But same reasoning, right? It's going to take some time, because if I place my warden over here, there's two storages he has to get through, and he still needs to clear a good chunk of this area before we can be absolutely sure that our bowlers can go in over here. And that's why I'm telling you, you can sacrifice a siege machine to help you with the funnel. So rather than me talking about it, I'll also get this attack going so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to speed it up all the way to the start of the attack, and you can see over here I've started my warden, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to join with my flame flinger over here. So the flame flinger is going to be actually helping me just create the funnel, so the warden and the flame flinger can just get all of this for me. I'm not expecting the flame flinger to do much more than that, honestly, because as I was saying, all the trouble is over here. If you look at what would be left on the base after we deal with this area, it's just this area over here, which I'm sure our royal champion and whatever is left of our heroes will be able to grab very easily. So this is also something that you guys should consider in your smashes. Your flame flinger doesn't need to always grab the best value. over here I'm literally, it's just walking to the area that the warden is walking to anyway, but it's kind of doing its own thing. It's just assisting my warden help get through this area much faster than he would have all by himself. And that's more than enough for me. Like, my flame flinger is saving the time that I need, it's saving the spells that I need to get through this area, which is honestly more than enough for me. And you can see what I'm going to do over here is because of the nature of this corner, like I don't want my bowlers to leak out over here, right? So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use my queen, because she has the range and she has a unicorn behind her, and plus these multi-archer towers are going to mostly be targeting my smash anyway. So just drop a Yeti to provide some initial tanking for the queen so that she can help handle that area. The enemy heroes will pull my bowlers in as the queen is about to finish that storage, and you can see the bowlers walked right back in just as the queen was about to finish it. And this is such a clean funnel for us. The bowlers have nowhere else to go. They're just going to stay perfectly in the core. Those multi-archer towers did nothing to our own queen, and now we can just go really hard with our bowlers over here. Look at that. The rage diameter is perfectly coinciding with the size of this compartment that we're walking into over here. And our queen is also doing an amazing job of clearing out this area over here, so that the bowlers will stay in a very compact line as we keep going through this core. Plus she's remaining safe. Honestly, you can't ask for much more than this. And you can see, like, my bowlers have pretty much died out at this point, but we've gotten through that entire toxic area, and the Yetis from the Flame Flinger handled the eagle, because that entire area was just so isolated. And as I was saying, it's just our queen and royal champion for the ending, but there's no merge defenses left. There's nothing that's going to stop this royal champion with a spirit fox, honestly. So just spam in the rest of your troops, get your cleanup going, and this is going to be triple. So yeah, an interesting use case for the flame flinger, because I'm not using it to grab the best value, but I managed to use it in a way that would save a lot of spells and a lot of time for my warden walk. And I managed to do that because the enemy heroes and most of the damage was with the town hall in a nice compartment over here, which is like easy for us to place our rages like that. And that's just something that you need to take advantage of sometimes. So you can identify, like, if the enemy heroes are kind of clustered up with the town hall, it's just a full send for your bowlers. Like, don't think about anything else, just try to find the best way that you can approach that compartment and use your flame flinger however you want. You can use it to assist your warden walk, you can use it somewhere else isolated on the base entirely. It's completely up to you, and it depends on the base. So yeah, just a new interesting way to use super bowlers. And let's move on to the next one. Next base up over here, we've got this teaser kind of setup, I guess, but it's also kind of like a diamond base over here. So again, consider your multiple approaches that you can take. There are definitely a lot of flame flinger weaknesses on this base if you have a look. Like, for example, this entire area can be grabbed with a flame flinger, this entire area can be grabbed with a flame flinger. And if you've seen most of my videos earlier, you already know I try to focus my super bowler smash kind of away from where the flame flinger is working. Even in the previous attack, actually, like, the flame flinger was doing its own thing while my super bowlers were working on a completely different area of the base. So making sure that you don't interrupt your flame flinger is important so that it can get maximum value. So keeping that in mind, now that I know that these areas over here are very weak for the flame flinger, I want to focus my super bowler smash somewhere away from where they're coming in from. So there's two approaches I can think of, and I actually did a more complicated one on this just because of how complicated this town hall compartment could be. I'm not saying it is not possible, but just something for you guys to consider. So now, for instance, if I place like a flame flinger right over here, my flame flinger would actually grab out pretty decent value, I would imagine. And I would probably do something like a warden walk over here, but again, there's a single inferno, there's a lot of storages to get through, and there's no guarantee of where the skeleton traps are located as well in this area. So once again, just very resource intensive, and I didn't like that entry. As if this was a multi-inferno, I would have done this. I would have just done a warden walk over here and sent my bowlers into this compartment, and then just have a jump for the town hall, something as simple as that. But because this was a single inferno, I didn't go for that approach, and instead what you can do on bases like these is, like, sure, like the defenses are so clumped up, but you know what else that means? You can freeze all of them together, and that's why I'm going to suggest an alternate entry, where warden walks become a little difficult in examples like these. So what you can do instead is something as simple as literally just queen charging the town hall, literally. And what you can do is you can just join your bowlers in as well. So let's just see how that works in action. I'm saying that you can place your flame finger either here or over here. I went for the right corner. There's no particular reason. Maybe I should have gone for the left corner because I would have gotten the scatter shot as well, but that was a slight misjudgment on my part. And you can just see over here how it's going to work out. So this is again like a very, very heavy compartment, and you can see I've raised my queen, and she's just going for it. Like, it's very easy for her to get the defenses down very, very easily. And you can see I've done like 3 wall breaks as well. There's one over here and one over here for my queen, and this one is for my bowlers. What was important was that I broke these 2 walls at the same time, so that my wall breaker actually targets that wall while it is still closed. And you can see over here I'm trying to shape up the funnel. I'm sacrificing my king into the ricochet cannon, just to ensure that when I drop my bowlers over here, they will join with my queen. They will have nowhere else to go except towards my queen. And you can see this is shaping up very nicely. I have used 2 rages so far, and I'm going to get the town hall with just 2 rages. I've already gotten so much of value. There's no spell towers left on the base anymore. The town hall is down, and I've already removed half of this very toxic apartment, honestly. And yeah, you can see this is already shaping up very well. The king with his giant gauntlet, I believe, managed to grab this multi-inferno, which means I can place my jump exclusively over here. And you can see what kind of a lane this is creating for our bowlers. One way or the other, we are creating that lane, which is very, very important for us. So I just popped an early warden because my queen was taking a lot of damage. I wanted to save her ability for the end. And you can see over here, these guys are going to walk nicely down this lane exactly like this. I can easily just send my royal champion to help clean up whatever defenses are kind of left behind. And there's no way that this base is going to defend, because once again, even if this area has a lot of skeleton traps, because this is not a merge defense, our royal champion is going to remain safe with the help of her spirit fox. So just some things you should kind of consider when you're attacking, like, because if this was a multi-inferno, I would have actually done the warden walk entry, where I would have started the warden over here and started my super bowlers over here. And the reason I'm saying the reason I'm not going to do a warden walk over here is just because this is a very, very heavy compartment, and you can see like there's a lot of Teslas over here. And while it is possible, I would have probably had to sacrifice my king to create the funnel. It is definitely possible to create the funnel using the king over here, but I would have to sacrifice him and then send my bowlers in over here. So still a viable option, but I like the queen charge, and honestly this is a very, very simple queen charge coming in from over here, and just sacrificing my king like this with the bowlers to come in like that. It's just perfect. Like, the bowlers have nowhere else to go. They will join right after all the poison kind of wears off, and your bowlers never have to deal with anything, and they can just destroy the entire base. So yeah, that's one more 3-star for us. Let's get on to the next one. Alright, we're on to our next base, and you can see it's a wonderful anti-tree looking base, and the damage distribution is just insane on this one. Like, there's no specific area for the bowlers to target. If you have a look on the base, it's just like, this is obviously a very heavy targeting. This is obviously a very big problem in terms of damage that could be dealt to us. This is also looking like a toxic compartment just because of the invis tower, as well as these merge defenses in this area as well. Plus the town hall doesn't look very easily accessible, and if I had to go according to like just normal base building logic, I would say this area has a lot of Teslas and skeleton traps waiting for me because I would try to approach these areas first, right? And yeah, I can see like the warden and the queen are over here as well with the ricochet cannon and that multi-inferno just waiting for me. So I would imagine that either this compartment or this compartment has a lot of Teslas, but this one has more empty spaces, so I would assume it's waiting for me up over there. Once again, we just need to start working the base down. Like, how can we form a path? Like, you just need to start thinking along the lines of, where is the highest damage? Is there some way for me to take care of the damage, either with my bowlers or with a siege machine? And where's the path that I can get to move through a lot of the damage that's there on the base and somehow reach the town hall as well? So over here I'm going to actually do something very interesting, because you can see like the highest damage areas are probably like this area and like this area, like if I include the merge defenses, I guess. So yeah, we have like 2 areas over there that we could really focus on. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have a warden tank this X-bow over here, because that opens up a flame flinger for all of this value, which is huge for us, honestly. Like, that's just one entire area that's going to be taken care of. Like, we don't have to ever look back at this area. And because I'm starting my warden over here, right, I need to start thinking of some sort of entry with my bowlers through this compartment over here. And what that also means is it like actually gives us good access into the town hall directly. Like, we just have this path straight into the town hall and we don't have to worry about anything else. But now here's where the problem comes up, right? I still have this one last compartment to deal with, and as I mentioned before, there's a good possibility it is filled with Teslas and skeleton spells and just skeleton traps, and just we don't know. So what can you do on bases like this? You can see I'm going to just start off over here with the warden walk and the flame flinger, because that is just really good value. There's no way to not take that up. And you can see over here I've started the warden walk. I'm just ensuring that it's actually my warden that's taking the damage, and after this cannon drops, I think I can safely drop the flame flinger. Oh no, I dropped it earlier, but it's more or less along the same line. So now what I'm going to do over here is, you can see like this is actually not too much of damage for my bowlers to really go through, right? It's pretty simple. It's not as long as some bases make you kind of like work with your bowlers. So I'm going to do something very interesting over here. I'm not going to be using my heroes with my bowlers at all. I'm just going to be depending on my ice golems and my titans to tank for a little bit of time. And you can see I'm going to use my queen to funnel so that she can keep the bowlers in a much tighter lane over here. And I've even lost my warden ability at the very start of this attack too. So these are some things you need to just keep a lookout for while this attack is going. So the highlights so far are basically this base is just very well distributed in terms of damage. I'm not going to be using my heroes with my super bowlers. You can see I don't have my king. Only the queen is out there helping funnel, because she has the range to help me clear a lot of these heavy buildings out. She has the range and she has the damage to do so. And most importantly, I've lost my warden ability already. The attack has only just started, no warden ability for me to work with. And this is shaping up so well already, despite of me not having my warden ability. So the bowlers will trigger that invis tower for me very early. And yeah, we just got a jump going in over here, and you can see I'm forced to use my phrases as much as I possibly can to help the bowlers out. And the bowlers should start dying out over here, but luckily this rage was so well placed. I catch my healers and my bowlers, and they managed to get the town hall down. So now look at what's left on the base. The flame flinger is still working on that area that I was talking about on the left over here. And as I was saying, I literally only want the bowlers to get like this much of value. I've literally just sacrificed them because I know I don't need my heroes for more. And you also need to consider I have done all of this without my warden ability as well. So it was a good estimation that my bowlers will be able to handle this much of the base all on their own. And now look at that. The healers are transferring to my queen. I have just placed my own king over here, and I still have my royal champion left to deploy. And I also have one skeleton spell and I have one rage spell. What more could you ask? The king with his giant gauntlet can easily deal with any traps that are left in this area, and I can deploy my royal champion wherever I want to help support them. So you can see I just deployed the royal champion to help funnel the king in over here. But this was definitely a very unorthodox attack with how I carried it out. And sometimes you are required to do this. Sometimes you need to identify that the bowlers don't really need too much of value from your heroes. Like they don't need that tanking. Your ice golems and your titan are more than enough. So do keep that in mind. We get away with a swag rage and practically the swag warden ability, of course, with a swag queen ability, swag RC ability, swag king ability. Just make a good plan and you can start doing ridiculous things like this too on your own attacks. So this was a very interesting way to use bowlers. Like definitely I try to identify the damage that's there and accordingly allocate resources, which includes your own heroes as well. So we'll do one more attack for you guys and then we'll call it a wrap for this one. Last base over here, I ran into a good friend of mine Saturday in Legend League, but it's a good base and I'm just going to have to talk you guys through it. Like I'm pretty sure this base was also given out very recently on, I don't remember who gave it out, but it was given out pretty recently and you can once again see the damage thread is so good. There's no specific area for our bowlers to really target on this base and the pathing is also very difficult. But let's just walk you guys through it. It's a box base and for box bases I give you guys 3 approaches that you should always try to look out for. One is the far side entry over here, one is the side entry, and one is the queen charge entry on the town hall. And I'm just going to briefly talk you guys through each of them and understand what the best option is for you. So you can see over here the far end of the base over here, we've actually got a double ricochet cannon, plus there's a lot of empty spots over here. I'm sure these guys have tried to infest this area with a lot of traps over here, be it giant bombs or Teslas or skeletons, something basically, which is going to make entry from over here very difficult. I'm probably going to lose some wall breakers. I'm going to probably lose my ice golems very early, and overall you can see the only wall I can break is this one over here. And even if I manage to do that, it's like I'll only be able to jump to the monolith, and then there's like these weird compartments leading all the way up to the town hall, plus a lot of fire just waiting for us from the enemy queen, royal champion, and these merged archer towers. Not to mention the single inferno near the town hall is also going to probably kill whatever is left of our heroes as our bowlers start dying out. So I would not recommend that approach at all. And now let's just walk through the queen charge style approach. So the queen charge style approach is basically you somehow cut out a funnel using like a flame flinger, maybe your own king on the flanks like this, and then you have a queen charge for a town hall. And as soon as the town hall falls down, you can join in with your bowlers like this, and you can start going into the depths of the base. But once again, we have this open corner over here that could leak, that could end up making our bowlers kind of leak out. Plus, even if I place a jump over here, I'm not really getting any value to any of the highest defenses on the base. Plus, we'll have this entire toxic backend left, which only leaves one option for us, which is to somehow approach the base from the side. Now, it's actually going to be very easy to do so, because what I can do is, if I start a warden walk over here, right, because I already know this is my only option, approaching from the side over here. So I was just thinking, like, if I start a warden walk over here to clear this out, I will actually start tanking this ground expo, which means I can actually flame flinger the town hall, because this builder hut is touching the town hall right over here. And even after town hall falls, the flame flinger will grab the single inferno for me. So pretty good value. I will get one single inferno, I will get the town hall, and honestly the warden walk will have to grab all of this. So very nice value for me at the start of the attack. And I also see, like, despite of these open corners over here, right, because this poison tower is closed like this, if I drop my wall breakers over here, they will run like this trying to go towards that poison tower, and I can just make them easily die near this corner over here to open this up very easily for me. So easy setup. And now we've talked about the left side of the funnel over here, we just need to look at the right side over here. I was thinking at first maybe I should use my queen to funnel, but then I saw, okay, as I was talking about earlier, like, we have the ricochet cannons and a good possibility of a lot of traps just waiting for us over there. So what I decided to do instead was create a deeper funnel with the help of my Yeti, I think, and I decided to send my king out over here because his giant gauntlet can easily remove this entire area. He's the only person who will not get scared of that area. My queen, even my royal champion would easily die over there. So You can see I've done the wall breaker trick that I've talked about and made some wall breakers die exactly in this spot. And honestly, if I just place a jump like this, it's pretty decent value. It's a really decent value. We get access to two of the other infernos, the spell towers, and honestly, what will be left is, you can see it like slowly shaping up. What will be left is just this little part that will be left for the royal champion, and yeah, you can see how it's kind of shaping up. Just an early warden ability because everybody's kind of splitting around because this is a broader compartment, and plus we're stuck in the poison, so the healers are not transferring over to the bowlers. But yeah, as I was saying, like the king is also going through the skeleton traps, no problem. The giant gauntlet is amazing. And you'll also notice over here, I kind of purposely did not give the jump access into the monolith because this entry point is already very broad. So it's important, like I'm just trying to ensure that my bowlers kind of stick within a 1 rage diameter, and I can get very high value rages over here. You can see exactly what I'm doing this entire time. So my bowlers managed to actually get rid of the entire area so efficiently that I had 1 rage spell still left over, which I just threw for my royal champion. I did not need it for anything else. Honestly speaking, I didn't need it for anything else. And yeah, the base is going down slowly but surely. It is going down. I still have my queen ability. Royal champion once again with that fox. She is just going to stay alive for so long. And yeah, honestly, a good base. It's a very good base, don't get me wrong, but with the right cracks you can become very efficient with your super bowlers, and you can keep them healed up. You can ensure they don't die, and you can just get some really good value with your heroes as well, and no base will be able to stop you. So yeah, that's about it for me for this video. I will be back again really soon with the next video. If you guys did enjoy this kind of content, feel free to give me feedback. Anyway, it can be anything. It can be like likes. You can comment like, hey, nice video, or like, hey, no, not a nice video, you need to do something better. It's fine, any sort of feedback is appreciated. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.